What's up, guys? It's me, Anthony, and I have a TV show coming out soon, and I am freaking out about it. I've been working on it for a few months with Travis Taylor and Tara Long. It's called Three Scientists Walk Into a Bar. It's going to be on the Weather Channel. It is premiering May 31st, but right now, you can head to facebook.com/3scientists, like the page. We're going to be sharing a lot of stories that if you like this podcast, you will absolutely love, and it would really, really help me out if you guys showed some support for the show, because once again, I am freaking out about it. Facebook.com/3scientists. Let me be all I need to know. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. There are a couple things that I worry about.
Aaron Neville?
I worry about Aaron Neville. Where is he? What is he doing?
What's he up to?
What is he up to right now?
Yeah.
Can I will Aaron Neville give me a sweet prison tattoo like his sweet prison tattoos? Kids, ask your parents who Aaron Neville is.
Right.
No, I do worry about the amount of waste that we put into the world.
Oh, we're fucking it up.
We're fucking the world up. There was actually a very heavy couple of minutes, if you're a patron, in our patron hangout with Verbatim, where we were talking about like, hey, can we reverse the march of disgustingness that the human race has perpetrated upon the planet? And it was, like I said, it's a pretty heavy couple minutes because I got some serious thoughts on it.
Pretty bleak.
So that's the thing that I care about. The other thing I care about is, why does everything that I use in my day not constantly make me feel like I'm part of some sci-fi future?
Well, maybe you're not thinking about how much of a sci-fi future you're really in as he sits in front of his incredibly complicated flat screen monitor talking into a recording device that beams his voice to all over the world instantly.
No. Don't Louis C.K. me right now, because I don't want it. What I want is fucking shit that looks cool and feels cool all the time.
All right.
There's some stuff that looks cool and feels cool all the time. It's just not all of the world, okay?
Okay.
Found a story about a thing that satisfies both of my passions.
All right.
My passion for eliminating waste, my passion for the science fiction aspect of life. This is a self-contained blob.
Oh, a blob!
Of edible water.
Wait, what? Water blob?
It is a blob. It's water that holds its form as a blob that you can just carry with you, take it out, and eat it, and it becomes water again.
Are you talking about water balloons? You're talking about water balloons.
I have ingested so much latex and rubber, but I feel cool now. This is the best party supply that I've ever eaten.
This is
out of all of the times that I've gotten really into eating party supplies. You remember when I was eating glitter?
Oh,
just coughing
so much
up glitter.
So much glitter.
And then
you looked fabulous.
I felt fabulous.
You had a sparkle in your eye,
except that
and your mouth.
Except that my stomach was like getting really torn up.
Yeah.
Then there was the time that I swallowed that paper chain, that magician's paper chain.
Yeah.
So I could literally pull it out of my mouth.
That was pretty impressive.
That was pretty good.
That actually made the party.
Oh, there was that time I ate noisemakers, and every time you punched me, I went,
I do punch you a lot.
A lot. And at least this time it was fun for both of us.
Yeah.
No, this is made of algae.
Okay.
And it's basically a thin membrane that is put around frozen spheres of water.
Okay, so you're surrounding your ice cubes with algae.
With algae, it's a perfectly safe algae. It's an edible algae.
Okay.
You will not taste the algae. The membrane is so thin, it has no taste. It almost feels to not even be there. But what happens when the water thaws is it's trapped in this casing. And you're carrying an edible blob of water, dude.
Wait,
imagine having a little satchel on your belt, like some sort of fucking fantasy character.
Yeah.
And out of it, you pull water. And you can pass the water, and it's just a blob of water.
It's like you're a water bender.
It's amazing. It's like a water bender. So the reason they created this, this is a couple of Spanish researchers. They made it because, number one, it's super cheap. It's about 2 cents per bubble to make. Number two, 50% of the 2.4 million tons of discarded plastic in the environment is plastic water bottles.
Yeah, we're awash in plastic water bottles.
We have super bought into the scam of bottled water.
Oh, for sure.
We are just...
It's everywhere.
We are just falling for it, dude, to the point where if I am in a city that I don't know and I'm staying in a hotel like for work, I drink bottled water.
But would you trust blobs of water?
Yes!
In that same situation.
Yes, I would!
We blobbed these in Northern California, and we sent over the blobs down south into Cozumel.
Fresh Catskills blob water.
I don't know if I would trust blob
Dude,
water.
imagine that. Imagine going on a trip and packing a bag of blob.
How fragile are these things?
I don't know.
They look pretty fragile.
Do they?
I don't. If you get jostled, you have just wet pants where you used to have blob water.
They do say that shipping and distributing is going to be a challenge because they are kind of fragile.
Yeah.
They are kind of fragile.
That might be a deal breaker, man.
It's kind of okay. Just sit back, picture this with me. Okay? This is what I'm picturing in my mind right now. It is the future.
Yeah.
I have a wrist cuff that shows me holograms.
Of course.
I am wearing kind of glasses that look a bit like blue blockers, but cool, but like
much
cool,
cooler than
like
blue
very
blockers.
cool.
But
You
they're
know?
wraparounds for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and they're giving me like an augmented reality experience. Maybe I'm on inline skates.
I think that's pretty safe bet.
You know, and
Yeah.
like I'm, everything looks like Mirror's Edge.
Yes.
Or-
all pristine white, but with slabs of color.
Yeah, like or like Oblivion before everything went bad.
Yeah.
Like that.
The movie Oblivion, not
Yeah.
the video game.
Yes, exactly. That's where I'm walking around. And when I'm walking around in that reality, interfacing with the mesh,
Yeah.
which is what we call it in the future.
Of course.
When I'm interfacing with the mesh.
Yeah. Jacking in.
Yeah. I get thirsty. What do? I reach into my very cool looking
Side satchel?
Yeah, like a thigh holster.
Yeah.
And I reach into it, and what do I pull out, Jeff? Do I pull out
Probably a laser pistol.
Yeah, sure. In my right holster. In my left holster,
Yeah.
water blob.
Water blob. Just pop it in. Now you're nourished.
Pop it in. Right?
You're nourished.
Exactly.
And you can continue your messengering that you've been doing.
Yeah.
Because you're clearly some sort of
Well, I'm a
hacker
messenger slash hacker.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
My day job is messenger.
Yeah.
But what I'm really trying to do is hack the construct from within to institute lasting change in our society.
The revolution can only start if the messengers rise up and are well nourished.
Yeah, can't listen, dude. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna attack the prefect and his constructs when you're dehydrated?
Not gonna happen, dude. If you are undernourished, if you're not completely hydrated, it's just gonna be all for naught. You're gonna be zipping around on your inline skates.
You can't-
You're gonna be parched.
You can't backdoor the black intelligence
No.
if you haven't had enough to drink.
You can't upload your new cyber construct that you've been working on in your basement for the last 15 months with your 3 friends who you've only met in virtual reality.
Every time I gotta leave the desk and get a glass of water, that's one more day we live under an oppressive regime.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's really true. Blob
Bubble
water.
of water.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In fact, this whole mission is probably codenamed Bubble of Water.
Bubble of Water. That's the first book in my trilogy about the intrepid future messenger.
Yeah.
Whose name is Andrew Carfani. Not based on anybody. But he's a really good person. I would say maybe one of the best people.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, I wouldn't call him perfect, but like some people do. Like
His online handle is Glaze.
he's like really well liked, and
Yeah.
he's been working out a little, you can tell.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, he definitely has been. He looks nondescript.
Yeah.
He could blend into a crowd easily.
Yeah.
But when you kind of corner him, man, he really is
That's the
striking.
thing. That's the thing about this perfectly fictional guy named Andrew, who's not based on anyone, is like,
Right.
yeah, maybe he gets lost in a crowd, but if you take a moment to really notice,
Yeah.
I think his uniqueness really comes out. And you see that there's like a depth to him of character.
And a sexiness.
Yeah, thank you. Like a sexiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, not based on anyone.
No, not based on any reality. But be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, and then there's his goofy sidekick, John Catraba,
Yeah.
who's just an idiot.
Boy, that guy is a lunkhead,
God, he's
huh?
just like this big, like, I'm drunk and trouble and I'm afraid of the future.
But sort of essential to the whole story, you'd say.
No, I wouldn't say anything hinges on him.
He's functionally
Illiterate?
I was gonna say essential and necessary to really taking down the construct.
He mostly falls into containers of manure,
Right.
Back to the Future style.
as an example to be.
And everyone's like, "Oh, John."
Right, he's constantly
Having to have things explained to him because he's really dumb, but like the audience needs to understand what Andrew is thinking because he's so smart, and the inner workings of Andrew's mind are so complex. So he needs like this doofy idiot sounding board.
Right.
He's almost like a living Beanie Baby.
But at the end, we realized that everybody was underestimating John, right? Because
no, absolutely not.
that's why he was putting on a front to
Nope.
make them to put their guard
Oh, no.
down.
I-
They thought he was an
I
idiot,
understand
but
what you were
at the
thinking.
end, they realized that he was the one that held the key to everything. He was actually, it turns out, the chosen one.
I understand why you think this. It's because he puts the front of his shirts on in the back.
Right.
And then
As a way to get
he
everyone.
was left to guard something and fell asleep and lost the key to the complex where everybody, you misread it. You misread it. He's actually just terrible.
But
he's just terrible.
But he turns out, though, after all that has happened,
No.
that he
No.
in an unlikely turn of events at the end, he was the one who knew
Nope.
that Andrew was in trouble
No.
and came at the
That's
end.
the thing about John is he thinks he knows Andrew and he's really close with Andrew, but he's just
He's his best friend.
He's
The
just
best-
so obtuse about everything that he doesn't get that Andrew's just kind of like dealing with him.
the
being
only
there.
one that Andrew can trust when the chips are down.
No, is his computerized AI assistant, who is a sexy lady. That's who Andrew can trust.
Right,
when the
but
chips are
second to
down.
her
Second to her is probably his dog.
but after the dog,
After the
then
dog is
John-
probably like the noodle guy that he gets noodles from, like Blade Runner style, from the cool noodle place.
Right, no, sure. They have a really tight-knit, close group of relationships, but John is sort of the spoke around which all of that rotates, right? Because he brings the heart. He brings the heart to
You're
it.
thinking of the part where John
And the comedic-
gets onto a merry-go-round and throws up because it's
Right.
spinning too much. Yeah, it's not that he's a spoke.
Because he's training
He's
for
sitting on a-
for the final mission. He felt like he needed to get on the merry-go-round to train
Yeah.
to be ready for when they're in the centrifuge at the center of the terminal.
I really think you missed the meaning of the entire book. I really do. But man, Blob Water. I would drink me some Blob Water. I want everything to be delivered in some sort of cool biotechnology container.
Yeah. The problem is this is going to all explode in your pocket. I
Sure.
dig it. The second big problem with this.
For now, it will explode in your
until it's
pocket.
a thick-ass, unedible, and until it's back to being a
What if
freaking plastic bottle.
What if they figure out a way to kind of either thicken or strengthen the algae in a way where it becomes more of like a rubbery thing where you have to like actually bite into it.
Well, here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
And your second big issue in making this widespread into our fictional future. No one wants to drink out of a blob.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You
I
do.
count two people in this room and both of them want to drink out of a blob.
Listen, we are not representative of the mainstream.
We're too
Our
cool.
views,
We're too cool?
are outside the. We will suck at the teat of a blob water. Maybe if they made it into like a little. Never mind.
No, keep going. I like where you're going with
like
that.
a little sort of breast shape.
uh-huh.
Just suckle at it. Anyway, we would be down for this. I just don't think you're going to find people who want to drink out of a blob. Because what are they gonna? You're gonna throw it in your mouth, bite into it, and then all the water gushes down your throat, or are you gonna poke a little hole into it and then just go?
It says here you can do either. It says here you can either
Oh,
take
so
in
options.
You can take in the blob entirely, or you can puncture the blob and put it into a glass.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. Everybody gets, the fucking normcores with their Crocs. Don't have to worry about this weird water, and
Right.
then like Cools with their wrist cuffs can have blob water.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get people that want to drink out of blobs. I don't think that I think the blob, it looks cool. Like there's even a video of them like rolling it on their hand,
Yeah.
which is rad, but
It looks a little weird, right?
it does look weird. It looks weird. And I don't think people are going to want to drink out. They're going to be like, what is that thing? And then getting the idea of, oh, that's actually an edible thing. I don't think people are going to go for that, bro. I mean,
Man, but I wish they would.
yeah. Both of us wish they would. There's a lot of things I wish people would do.
Sure. But that's the thing is I love that somebody came up with this and they give you the instructions. You can make this at home.
Whoa, what? What? You
Yeah.
didn't say that?
You can make
Why are we
these.
not making blob waters?
We need to make blob waters, dude.
Where do we get the
And then we can just walk around with blob
casing?
waters.
What is the casing made out of?
The casing is just it's kind of like these rounded silicone molds like you use to make those like fancy whiskey sphere ice cubes that you can put in drinks at fancy bars.
Yeah.
You know those?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And you make them, you line those with the solution.
This is just
pour the
molecular
water in.
gastronomy?
It's just molecular gastronomy. Just molecular gastronomy. As though molecular gastronomy was nothing. As though turning food into a foam was so easy.
I've done it, bro. I've been there.
Here's the thing. I hate molecular gastronomy.
That's kind of young.
I don't hate it, but
You hate all food.
I hate it as sort of like I think it's interesting, but I hate it for the sake of just having it. You know what I mean? When you go to a restaurant, it's like, and then we made this into a foam, and it's like, but dude, you didn't really need to.
Right.
Like, if it makes sense in the dish, I really enjoy it.
Because we can is really what.
Because we can. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know, fuck you, great. I mean, I could stand up for this entire time I eat my meal, but I'm going to use this chair.
Right.
Because it's just better to use the chair.
Right.
If that's a sauce, just you can make a sauce. You don't need to fucking make a foam.
I have to say, having had molecular gastronomic foods, having something that tastes like one thing but is in the form of another thing is really a strange
the
experience.
thing with like the egg, and then inside the egg is like a weird custardy.
or like
whatever.
foam that tastes like fish taco.
No, stuff in the form of other stuff, I think we all agree is the jam.
Right.
Which is why water as a blob is cool. But
Right,
like,
water shouldn't be a blob.
so I don't like this, molecular gastronomy just for the sake of doing it. I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of like the giant, perfectly round ice cubes at the bar that make the drink $3 more expensive.
Right.
Like, I'm not a fan of that, but I do like the water blob. And I'm trying to figure out why. And I think it's because, number one, water blob legitimately solves a problem, whereas the other two
sure.
don't. Number two, I need to drink water.
Yeah.
Why not drink it as a fucking blob, dog?
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If we can make our own blob water,
And we
I think
can.
it revolutionizes practical jokes.
Oh, please.
I want to make the world's largest blob water and then
Jeff!
and then jump onto it.
Jeff!
I want to build a giant blob water and put it just inside someone's doorway.
Holy shit!
So they
Contraba comes through at the end.
I told you, John.
Holy
you underestimated
shit!
John Contraba.
Oh my
Because
god!
his final.
Wait, no,
final practical
because
joke.
the algae shell at that size, the mass of the water is going to be too heavy for it to keep its
Just
structure.
details, bro. You're just getting mired in details.
But that's the same detail that makes you say that it'll never catch on because they'll never be able to ship it around and it'll break in your pocket.
Well, once they figure out the break in your pocket, I'm sure the size will be able to increase too, right?
Contraba, always waiting for somebody else to do his work for him.
So, like, just inside the door, you open your door and there's a giant
I get
water
it.
blob.
I get it.
How are you going to get in the room now?
But you have no idea how you're going to do it, and you're just going to wait for somebody else to do it for you.
It'll be worth it.
Contraba.
I'll make it right now. if
Would
give me
would you guys drink out of a water blob? I
Yeah.
would like to know.
I think people that listen to this show would drink out of water bubbles. Calling it a bubble is not right. It's a blob. It looks like an amorphous blob. It's not
Cool.
like a perfectly spherical
You're right.
bubble.
I haven't been describing it cool enough. I'm sorry. That's on me. I was oversimplifying. It's actually a cool fucking amorphous blob, y'all.
Of water.
Sorry. Would you drink out of that?
I would so have the biggest fight with those.
Oh my gosh. These things are the best. Let us know if you would drink out of one on Twitter. I'm at acarboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
You can hashtag that wrist cuff. And hey, if you have been enjoying the show, I'd like to think you've been enjoying the show.
I'd like you to think you've been enjoying John Contraba's
damn it.
contribution.
Contraba's contributions. It's like his Andy Warhol. It's like not Andy Warhol. Andy Rooney.
Yeah.
I hated when Andy Warhol was on 60 Minutes.
Contraba's contributions.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol on 60 Minutes is like the most awkward ending of the show where he's just sitting there like,
It's just two naked people standing in opposite corners of a room, spinning around in circles while a cowboy reads the stock exchange. And then
Now for Andy Warhol's minute.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was the shittiest minute. I hated that. No, but we'd like to think that you're enjoying the show. And if you are enjoying the show, we would love it if you would leave a rating for the show on your platform of choice, whether it's Stitcher, iTunes, whatever. Go ahead, leave 5 stars for us if you would be so kind. Do not review the show.
There's no reason to review the show. I don't even know why people suggest that.
Do not. Nobody reads those things. But what you could do is you could let us know if you could eat or drink anything in the shape of anything else. Let us know what it would be. Remember that iTunes will probably remove the word penis.